Hi guys, first of all, Merry Christmas. Today is the 25th of December. I hope you have a great time with your family and friends, good celebration and all. Now, the developer of Wild Buster have sent me a review key to take a look at the game. It's still at early access, and also some of you from the Marvel Heroes community have also asked me to take a look at this game because there are some similarity between Wild Buster and Marvel Heroes. And I kind of agree in some sense because I play a little bit and sort of like, the skin aside, but I can feel the mechanic is somewhat like the Marvel Heroes kind of thing, a bit casual, but also there are quite a lot of differences as well. Some of them are quite a nice improvement. So in this video, I'm going to show you the trailer first because that will set the background of the story right. Then I'll go through a little bit on the what kind of character you can play and also what kind of mechanic I've discovered so far. And after that, last but not least, one clip on the actual gameplay itself. Now, the developer says that they may send me some trial keys for you guys to try this game out. I haven't figured out how it's going to work yet, but if you have interest or intent to give this game a try and would like to just go for the trial version, do let me know in the comment box below. I'll try my best to collate some keys for you. And right now it's on Steam discount 35%. Depending on the version it ranges from less than $20 to less than $35 kind of thing, and it is not going to be a free-to-play game. There's no pay-to-win components to it. It's really buy-to-play. So yeah, without further ado, next bit is on the trailer itself.
It's been over a decade since humanity settled on planet Titan. It all started after scouts detected an unknown radio signal. The signal belonged to an aggressive race of alien cyborgs who were quickly dubbed the Broken. It didn't take us very long to realize that the Broken weren't here for peace. They were here for blood. None of us were prepared for what came next. The attack against our home planet was unlike anything we'd ever seen before. The Broken slaughtered us by the millions and laid siege to our home planet, leaving it in ruins, desolate, broken. We had no choice but to leave. With our homes destroyed and our world a wasteland, we were forced to seek refuge on various planets across the galaxy. It was a futile attempt, however, for everywhere we went, the Broken followed, forcing every man, woman, and child into their gruesome cyborg army. Several years have passed since then, and the remaining survivors have retreated to the planet Titan. Titan is more of both alien and hostile to humans, given the poisonous waters, high levels of radiation, and now, the Broken. What started out as minor attacks on seemingly random outposts have become more frequent and more intense. Rumors of a full-blown assault are spreading amongst civilians, but this time it'll be different. This time, we'll be ready. Titan's military forces have begun recruiting heroes renowned for their talents and skills. We've reached out to the distant corners of the galaxy to find the best of the best. It's the only chance we have to survive this continued onslaught. Even as we grow in strength and numbers, a power struggle has emerged between two rival factions, the Guardians and the Abandoned. Even as humanity teeters on the brink of extinction, we remain divided, and this division may well be the end of humankind. As the Broken march on and the war escalates, one can only hope that the Guardians and the Abandoned can put their differences aside and save humanity from certain extinction.
So right after the trailer, you will be asked to pick one of the two factions. One is the Guardians, the other is the Abandoned. So Well, I think it's more like Alliance and Horde, or in Marvel Heroes world, it is like the the pro registration and anti registration. I myself picked the Abandon just because I just like the whole mindset of it. But different faction has different classes. So, for example, let's just take a look at that. There are a couple of choices you can make, 6 of them you can pick from. You can have a trooper. Or you can have a commando, right? I think more like a DPS class, and you could have like machinics. I think it's more like a support class. Maybe they should put something like them. Heroes of Storm is a good game whereby they tell you upfront what they do. I think they should have some difficulties level, and whether it's support class or melee or whatever, and you can have the shooter, which I think is more like a sniper kind of thing, maybe. Yep, sniper. And you have the Awaken, which I think is like a healer. Mercy in Overwatch. And last but not the least, I think he's more like a tank kind of material. So, yep, there are a couple of things you can do here. That these are different classes with different abilities that you can pick. If you don't want to join the Guardians, and by the way, you can pick either one, is fine. It's not like once you pick one, you cannot pick the other. If you pick the Abandon, then then you could I pick a Vanguard Blade because she looks really hot. But and then you can have a Flamethrower, like a StarCraft kind of thing maybe. This guy looks a bit. I think he's like a Demon Hunter in Diablo 3. Then whoa, this. At first I thought it was a girl, but then by looking at the face, but I think look at the app, yeah, he's a guy. So it's like a necromancer, maybe, I don't know, warlock. And you have the poison thingy, so he does a lot of poison stuff. Yeah, I mean, I must say the Abandon looks really cool. Like although they don't really look that pleasant, but and you have the Bounty Hunter. All right, a lot of guns, man. This is like a war machine for you guys. Okay, so now doesn't matter. So let's just take a look at my character here, which is level 15. I play a little bit during the Christmas Eve. I must say that missions are not easy as a solo. I do not know whether this game is designed as a solo game or a group play, because I play as a solo, and it kind of very challenging because a couple of things here. Doesn't seem that there is a health regen or mana regen. You have to keep having potion, and a potion is it could be a rare commodity, because in order to have potion you have to buy and you have to spend gold for it, and gold come from mission. So and then the gold is required for many other things, like if you want to disassemble any of these items that you collect that you do not want into crafting materials, you have got to spend 100 gold to do that. So that's just all in all, this is a character itself, and and if you look at the let's just take a look at character. You can move that around, pretty nice, right? So now this character has I managed to collect quite a few items, but there's set item concept here, which is quite kind of interesting. So this is a blue kind of tier with the soldiers in front. So soldiers set 3 out of 8, you can get like the maximum hit HP plus 1%. Once you have 3 items, if you get 5 items, you get plus 7, which on the armor. So there are set items quite interesting. Like there are some tier, like this one is a white tier, and the white tier has a different kind of benefit from the rest of it. So if you get 3 set of white tier, you get plus 1% of the maximum HP, for example. So it doesn't really mix with the other one. And if you have some other thing like recruit, which I think still have it, I can't remember. Like this one, no, hang on. No, I don't have it anymore. So there are some other tier, like this one, recruit boots is the one that I've got initially. There's no set bonus to it. So it's quite an interesting way to have like a set bonus kind of like a concept to it. There are some stats. I still need to go through the stat itself, but there are some basic stuff like strength, dexterity, and stamina. Discipline. I think discipline is more like a DPS skill kind of thing, versus, because a lot of gear sometimes I can show it to you. Sometimes if you take a look at the gear, I like the way that you can just drag and drop, like this is nice. You could actually have like both of them have different between like stamina +4 or discipline +4. You know, it is more to like pick between a DPS, or you want to pick between the health itself. So there are some trade-off available. There are things like crit chance, you know, versus discipline. Oh, sorry, the crit damage rating versus discipline, which I need to take a look at that. But by the sound of it, since I've been playing ARPG for quite some time, it is more to do with the flat damage versus the crit components to it, which is kind of like Marvel Heroes in some sense, if you guys remember how that works. It's been a while, but I think it all come back. There are other things as well. If you want to look into under the hood, there are quite a lot of things that you could actually take a look at. I have to figure out what each defense really means. I mean, you know, sometimes I don't understand some of these words and doesn't really have you know, mouse over on some of these, like how does it being derived. It's not quite there, but I think it's just early access kind of thing. It seems to me there are quite a lot of like damage you know, type, quite a lot of resist type. So if you are from Marvel Heroes, it should come as no surprise to you. There are quite a lot of like, you know, damage type as well. So it is kind of like interesting, and you have the cooldown as well. Now, so that is very much on what you can do with the character sheet itself, which is important. Another thing quite interesting is that there's something called skill. So for example, you can actually have configure a different kind of skill to it. I mean, I put it here. Your skill bar 1, 2, and 3. So you can toggle. You can press F5 into hotbar 1, hotbar 2, 3, kind of thing. I wish it was only 2 of them, so I can toggle between first one and second one, because I could have the first one as the just area trash clearer, and after that I can have the second hotbar for boss killer, for example. So I could. But the third one, you have to toggle quite a fair bit, and there is some cooldown to it as well. So it takes a while to cool down to the next bit, so you can't really swap quite fast. If you want to, between 1 and 2, yeah, so that is just one of those things. Now, each of the skill have 2 tiers to it. So I think for the sake of this video, I'll do something, okay, so I'll do something like this. You have 2 options, 1 and 2, and 1 or 2 actually is a little bit different itself, and I would like to demonstrate to you at least the difference between it and how I come about the build that I use for my blade, because I found that I have to pick and mix to make things work for some reason that you will see later. So okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay, all of them are fine. So now there are 5 buttons here. One is the dash, so the dash looks something like that. All right, so dash, and then whatever come onto the way will cause the you know, cause bleeding and cause 200% damage. Okay, and then another one is called bash. Bash is slam in the floor and sort of like, you know, just one area here. So if you play Marvel Heroes, is a lot of those are Titanic Slam from Colossus. It does that. The third one is Blade Curtain, which is very much like generating a shield, reduce damage, and also increase crit chance by 20%. So it goes something like that, and the shield lasts for like a while, 5 seconds, and after that, yeah, that's gone. And then after that, you have the Fans of Dagger. There's quite a lot of them in Marvel Heroes, isn't it? Moon Knight does it as well. So you can like that. And after that, the last one is the ultimate sort of thing, or the signature. There's a cooldown button to it. So this one here, doing so, you are invulnerable, as well as the increased speed by 30%. So that is for 6 seconds. So that with that said, your ultimate or signature is on cooldown for half a minute or so. And in order to do that, you have to collect points, and the points can be collected while you do a power. So collecting point is never an issue for me, at least. But the only thing is that wait for this cooldown. And of course, there's basic power as well. I haven't figured out what the right button is for, because I think I'll map it to dash. There's actually a dash. It's nice. I mean, it's there's a stamina decrease as well. So you know, you have to wait. Well, you can still dash for quite a fair bit, but after a while you can't really. You have to wait until stamina come back up. So it's very much like Marvel Heroes, but it's not as restrictive in some sense that it's go by charges. It's a little bit of like you know, analog to it, and I think it's fine. I think it's kind of good as well. So that is the stamina that will come back up a little bit now. Okay, so that is skill set number number 2. Now, if I do a number 3, let me see the skill set number 3. What do I have here? Skill set number 3, I can pick. Okay, let me pick one. Okay, pick this one. Change skill. You can do it on the fly. It's kind of nice. So I want to demonstrate the 2 set of skills that you have and why I eventually picked the one that I picked. Now, so now after I pick the different skill set instead of the one that charge onto enemy that you've seen before, there's something called the quick step. I think if you play like Kitty Pryde or whatever, it's kind of intuitive. You can actually go to a location. Ooh, okay, you can't because there's no enemy here. But what it does is that it would teleport into the enemy and then do a slam there. So that is kind of nice. It's just that the area is not that much, but it goes directly into the enemy, which I think is rather good for the boss kind of fight itself. Then you have something called Whirlwind. It is like a toggle, so you toggle on, and after that it does the Whirlwind. All right, but it burns a lot of mana as well, and you can toggle it to turn it off. So it's very much like the Deadpool's Canadian Devil, if you play Deadpool in the past. Then after that, you have the Crescent Dash, slash, which is like a front cone damage. Yeah, I mean, it's just very much like Marvel Heroes, right? And the 4th one is a dagger that fly a dagger there. It's a straight dagger. So the difference between the Fan of Life and this dagger is that this dagger will hit everything in one line, while the Fan of Life is the one in front cone, but it doesn't really have the range to it. And last but not the least, there's something called the Precise Jab. I think, yeah, let me just try to get the point out for you, and after that I can show it to you the ultimate, which is Precise Jab itself. Yeah. So that is ultimate. Is actually extend the dagger forward in line towards a specific location, a huge amount of damage as well as the stun. So it goes something like that. So that is the So that is the thing that you do with the so-called ultimate. So so that is the point to it. And how do you customize your skill in the sense that so so you have seen the 2 set of it, but ultimately I pick a mix because let me just go wait until it's one. Now what works for me is that I've done something a little bit different. Is that I don't like the quick step because I need to hit more targets. So you can see a gameplay video in just a bit that I try to hit as many as I could, and it's quite a wide kind of area to it. So I pick dash and slash. Second one is that the Whirlwind is nice, but it just burned too much mana, and it's not really my liking to burn so much mana because I just have to keep eating this like MP crate itself. So I use Bash. Bash is actually quite hit rather hard as well, 20% versus the 80%. So and I just have to position it nicely to bash it in the right position. That's about it. I tried the Blade Curtain, which is to reduce damage as well as buff the crit. But for some reason, maybe I'm just low level. It doesn't feel the oomph to it, and I can't really feel that. I can't read the DPS, so I go for the current Crescent Slash as well, like the front cone damage in front. Then after that, I can have a line. I can have a fan. The problem with the line is that not all the time I can align all the enemy in one line, but although it does reach really far. So between the 2 of them, it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't really matter that much, but this one seems to be a little bit more damage, and also in a lot of time I do have to get close somehow, and I found that the Fan of Dagger works better for me. And last but not the least, I found that being able to be invincible for 6.6 seconds is actually very, very useful, especially against the boss fight. I think in a group environment probably is a different story, but as a solo, I think this is the way to go. Now, how do you assign points and so on? So I can see that these are three points to it. There's 2 points to it. And there's 1 point to it. How come it's only 1? And the it's kind of interesting because I thought I've upgraded some of them last night, but apparently they are not really upgraded in the sense. Bash, like for example, you can upgrade a few points to it. They ask you okay or not. You can upgrade it. So there are 2 points to it. So that I thought I didn't think I've saw it before. Yeah, then you can upgrade as well. And if you don't like it, you can actually reset it as well. There's no penalty to reset it, so it's rather flexible. Passive-wise, there's a passive. It's called the Forerunner. I'll activate a shield every 20 seconds, create a protective shield. 8% of the maximum hit point. So I presume it is, once the shield, this is shield itself. So the shield will be gone after you're taking more than a certain percentage of the health. So I think this few yellow thing could be the 8% there. So yeah, that is in a very quick overview on what it is. I'm not going to go too deep into all the. I mean, there are quite a fair bit of crafting which I'm still trying to figure out. there's a dot here. There's a bit of crafting that I like, that I haven't really figured out yet. But you could actually disassemble items. Like for example, you can say there are some items I do not need. I could actually disassemble them, and then after that become like the material, for you to do crafting, I think. So, and I hope there's a quick info on where things are, and this is only level 15. Review is in progress, and I'll continue making it. And the next bit is really about the gameplay itself, just to showcase you a little bit of what this game does. So this is the last bit of the video recorded last night, Christmas Eve, and it's a mission style. So it is very much like some of the ARPG lately, the modern ones like the Guardians of Embers that I've played recently, or the Closer. So those type that is go by mission. I don't think the mobs can respawn. There are some medic there will cost you money to do things. Now I could actually dash. It just to show you the difference between walking and not. So that is like the power number one. Then you see a little fan there. The whole combat is very fluid. I'm at the America server. Doesn't feel like any lag to it. I'm playing from Singapore, which is in Asia, and so far, I mean, it's very like I like the fact that, okay, by the way, this is the ultimate. I'm like invincible, as well as my attack speed go up by 30%, 30% I think. Yeah, so I was just saying that there's no lag whatsoever. Everything is very snappy, and it's good because when you play this sort of game, it's very important to articulate, being able to articulate what you have in mind versus what the hero does, so that you could connect to what's happening on the field itself. Something that I find a little bit lacking in games like Guardians of Ember, which I also play from the same publisher, by the way. That was quite a lot of lag between the ability. This one doesn't seem to be. Maybe it's a different kind of like graphic quality as well. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so this is I usually open it with. So this is the invincible. You see, immune 6.6 seconds, and if I put more skill point to it, I'll get a longer immune kind of thing. So yeah, as you can see, the dash is actually rather nice. The ability number one that you could just as an opener into it. I find it very effective. Not quite sure how the bleeding works though. I can't really see the bleeding, but well, the tooltip said it does. So yeah, this is a dash into it, and after that do a slam, after that do a fan, the two type of fans in front, so more of a DPS, and to get the power point. So now I'm more charged up, but then I don't really see a need to, because some mobs are harder than the other. These are pretty easy as well. So just like business as usual. I mean, these are still low level. I think this game is more for group play. I mean, if I look at the boss fight in just a bit, I found that it's quite hard. It's very hard for a soloist, and I think it is like some of this modern game that if you have got to stay alive if you play solo. I think, because I do see some inventory item whereby I can resurrect. Then I'm not quite sure how it works, because in Marvel Heroes it was rather casual. If you get defeated by the boss, you can spawn by the boss. I haven't really gone that part yet. I mean, I haven't get defeated yet, but it was really close. In just a bit, you can see it. It's not easy. This game is not easy. Okay, so I'm just moving. This is the. Oh, I got stunned there. And you can break stun as well. The button number 3, you can see at the bottom of the hotbar. 1, 2, 3. 1 is a health potion, 2 is the mana potion, 3 is actually break break stun. So, but I need to. There's a cost to it. So it's a bit strange because in a sense, if there's a cost to it, and I have to spend gold in order to break stun, then I may as well just take the stun. But then sometimes at a boss fight, it could be rather deadly. So it's not really a matter of you try to save some gold or not. Yeah, that's how I feel. Right, so just start still moving along, and you can see that with this combo is nice, and that's why I choose this kind of like combo to it. So popping the ultimate or signature, just want to take down this carrier before it spawns too many soldiers. Kind of remind you of the Doctor Doom kind of thing, huh? Yeah, it just keeps spawning soldiers if you don't take it down. So yep. And I'm doing a bit of dash as well. This is dash, so you could actually dash for quite a bit as well if you want to. But have to pay attention to your stamina. Good thing about level up is that you get to you get a refill of your health and mana, which is useful. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I like this build. This build is a lot more fluid. I've been trying different kind of combination, which one worked better for me. But in the end, I think, yeah, this one is very fluid. I like it a lot. So I probably take it to end game with it. But and also there's the skill point has a limitation on how many skills you can buff. So you cannot buff everything. You have to make a decision somehow. So I'm popping my ultimate or signature, and there's still some that's been spawned off. Yep. I can't tell whether these are the aliens or the guardians. Yeah, maybe these are aliens. Yep, it does look like aliens to me. But there's some machinery kind of look as well. So yeah, I'm just working my way through, and soon you'll see the bosses. You don't really get distracted by the loots as well. I'm not quite sure whether you have noticed is that the loot only come towards the end. Kind of remind me of the Mass Effect 2. If you play Mass Effect 1 Transit to 2, 1 is the one that you get a lot of loot, with every enemy that you kill. But Mass Effect 2 is the one that rewards you with items after you've completed the mission. So I think it's more of that kind of like a feel to it. And I mean, so all along you are not stopping to loot, you are not stopping to compare items. You are just like just play the game and try to get to the end alive. Yep. And I think it's soon to be hitting the boss very much. I mean, time flies actually when you play this one, because you have all these encounters trying to get through. So yeah, I mean, there are a couple of combinations, as you can see. Some Tunnel Man, some of them is Dropship. I think it's just low level right now. It doesn't look like a lot of mobs and so on, but I presume higher level will have a lot of action going on. It's review in progress. So hub is in front. I can see the heart shape there, so it will be boss fight. Very much like some of the modern ARPG these days, like the Mu Legend as well. Okay, so this is a mini boss to it. Pop the ultimate, and then he does slam me, but I sort of like let me get out from that. I'm immune to that, and I think I got stunned in a bit maybe, and I got kicked as well. And this guy is really annoying. Tombstone, man, Tombstone. He has gained some weight. Okay, try not to get through his electricity and whatnot. And yeah, that's it. Tombstone is down. Then I could buy, sell stuff, and I could also get myself healed. So there are some new items here. So usually I go through what I've got and see, this is strength versus discipline. Then this is strength versus discipline again. This one is lower than discipline, so I would not use this one. And last but not the least, this weapon is also not good for me. So now I could actually, because my health is like 53%, I could heal myself for 500 gold. So yeah, everything here costs money. So suddenly gold is very relevant. Yep. So this is going to be a boss fight. It's not easy. A bit of cutscene there. Man, these guys. I don't even know the boss mechanic when I was doing it. So see whether I can figure out now. So wow, that's what you see. Okay, so there are 3 bosses up on top. So there are 3 guys. I popped the ultimate, so I'm immune to all this nonsense here. So wow, this is like Path of Exile, the 3 bosses. I don't know whether you need to draw some of them to somewhere. I think one of them is keep giving you a lot of poison, kind of like a nonsense here and there. And man, I thought I was doing well, but until I got like overwhelmed and just a bit. And what on earth is those things that keep pausing? I'm not quite sure. But suddenly there's a lot of ads, and I found that my health is actually going a little bit down, and I popped the health potion. As you can see, my health went back up again, and wow, this is getting really exciting. I'm still trying to do it, get rid of the boss, but the boss seems very strong, and there are like more small mobs coming about everywhere. I do not know what they are, where they come from. Could I have like destroyed a drop ship or something like that? But at that point I get panicked a little bit because I feel that my health is going down really fast, and I'm not like I cannot use my potion right now. It's on cooldown, so I'm like, whoa, almost, man, almost. And I pop the potion. Okay, now I'm back to the fight, and this is for the vengeance. Yep. So I just need to. I pop the ultimate, and that's how useful the ultimate is, the one, the immunity for the solo. So 1 boss down is good, 2 boss down, and the well, okay, actually all the bosses are down. So that's about it. It's actually quite exciting for as a low level. Leveling the character is a lot of excitement. I'm not quite sure whether this could have been done in a group environment. It'll be a lot easier or not, but whatever it is, I had fun with this one a lot. I got some currency. Unfortunately, there is no gear, so we'll see how it goes, and I'll continue playing this and show it to you guys what other things you can do. And you could actually take a helicopter back. So let me know in the comment box below how you like this game, first impression, and if you like the trial key, do let me know as well. I'll do my best to get some for you. Alright, see you next time. Merry Christmas again. Bye.